All right, Adam. Good working with you today. I just wanted to go back through your video here and run through some things that I think you can start to work on. And then hopefully when you get back down here, we can go through some of this stuff and see where you're at in progression in regards to your weighted balls and your arm speed. But anyways, to start off here, like I said when you were here, well, and I've got Bauer up here next to you, and Bauer's a good guy to compare, yourself to. Very similar body type. He's probably not quite as tall as you are. I think he probably doesn't weigh as much as you either, but if you notice, one thing I think will help you derive a little bit more power from your core area is getting your glove drop down just a bit. So that way when you separate, we can start to create a little bit more of an angle up with your front shoulder. One thing that I do like that you have going on is you have a lot of pelvic tilt moving forward, okay, which is good, which means you're pushing down into the ground here and sliding the pelvis forward. Very similar to what Bauer's got going on. The biggest difference, though, and you're going to see here as you start to separate. One thing, too, let's try to get your head peeking towards the catcher just a little bit earlier there. Work on visually focusing on that target a little earlier. I think that's going to help you. Your hands do break in a pretty good position, but I think you've got a little bit of wasted energy in regards to your hands going up and then back down. I think if you can concentrate on keeping those hands down as you're breaking and starting to get into that hip slide down the mountain, I think it's going to help you maintain a little bit of power. But as you get going here, you do a good job. But then as you get into heel strike position here, I want you to focus on your back knee. Your back knee, okay, it's doing a good job moving forward, but we're not doing a very good job in regards to connecting to the ground. And what that's basically doing is leading your body to be way too forward by the time you get all of the weight onto your front foot. And again, I think this is one reason why you're not loading your arms in a good position. If you look at where Bauer's at here, by the time he gets that toe down, he's going to be inside of a good 90-degree angle here. Okay, and it's hard to measure with you. He's at about a 78, 80-degree angle. I can't really measure you because you eventually get to that position, but it's way too late. We need to be in this position here much earlier. You've got a lot of body drag going on here, which is creating that arm. You eventually get to a good angle position, so we just got to try to speed this up here. And I think the weighted balls, and so there you go. You're there. It just happens a lot later. And again, if I back you up here and we look at where you're at when that toe touches down, okay, here you have a lot of angles that are working against you. If you take a look at where the buttons run down his center shirt, okay, he's going to be a lot more loaded up over that back leg. And that's the direct result of that is going to be much more flexion in that leg. You've got very little flexion in that back leg. Like I said, we work on driving the shoelaces and the back knee down. It's going to give you more ground connection as you start to rotate into your release point. I think we can do a little bit better job, too, in regards to you pulling your glove into your body as you start to rotate the backside of the body. That's going to speed up the throwing arm and get it into a better position. I know we want to have a firm front side, but your glove right here is too far out in front of you. As you start to get your heel down, we want to start to see that glove and that elbow suck into the body without opening up that front shoulder. I can show you a couple drills in regards to that. And loading that arm, obviously here, in a better position as that heel starts to touch. One thing that's going to help you with that, if you can see here how much leverage he has going down into that back foot. The back knee is really driving down and forward at the same time. Yours is just kind of falling forward. I think one thing that's going to help you, if you notice where Trevor's glove is in regard to yours at that point of separation, we can get those shoulders pointed up much earlier in the process. Because the overall goal here, okay, when the heel touches, or just prior to the heel touching down, is to maintain this tilt in our shoulders. As you can see, you're much more level. And once that foot touches down, really loading and cocking that arm into a ready position. And instead, all we're getting out of you is a lot of push. We're getting a lot of push, and I'm not seeing a lot of turn. As soon as Trevor's foot is down here, all that's going to happen now is that arm is going to rotate forward, and you're going to see the amount of layback and how the elbow gets in front of the body, and the arm gets out into extension. Okay, and then he's going to decelerate. You notice how far that arm gets under his body. He starts to bend his elbow, okay? And it's tough to see from this camera angle, but he's going to get full bend in that elbow all the way underneath. Okay, the other thing that we want to try to limit here, okay, with you is the amount of back knee movement that you create moving into your front leg, and basically you're collapsing on that back side. And what that's doing is lifting your back foot out of the ground much too early. As you can see here, if I blow this up and we look at your back foot, you're already off the ground. So you've lost connection with the ground before your arm is actually passed in front of your body. So right now you are basically throwing with all arm and what strength you have in your front leg. There is no backside. This whole area is gone. As you can tell here, he's going to maintain connection to the ground until that elbow crosses the body. And the back foot's not going to release actually until the arm starts the decelerating progress. So what we've got to get away from here is all this pushing that's going on. Your foot's down and all you're doing is pushing forward, and there's very little rotation in the body and the throwing arm. And then as you decelerate, the elbow here at this point should be bent. So just a few things to think about. And if you want to upload any video, feel free to shoot it to me, and I can do some assessment on it. And then feel free to email me. I am going to upload this video to YouTube and send you the link. And then I'm also going to send you quite a bit of information I want you to read up on. And give me a call, send me an email if you got any questions. Good working with you, Adam.